Gotta love OBS, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Well, so last time in Midgard, you guys had recanted the tale of saving Harlow from the stone golem that had been consigned, apparently, to attack and ruin the temple itself.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoyed some hot soup, good soup, with Harlow, and rested for the evening and had the benefits of a long rest. We are going back to Zobeck now that your travel to the Temple of the Gods has concluded. You all have exchanged and brought gifts to your respective godparents and have conversely received gifts from those godparents. At some point in time, preferably probably in the Margrave Forest, Mara bids you all adieu for now, where she must refocus her efforts on trying to maintain the safety and balance of the Margrave compared to Zobeck, and she has a terrible feeling that some sort of strange omen of what is to come. So on the trip back to Zobeck, we have in sessions past, we've gone through a couple rounds of explaining things that we've encountered, and I think we've compromised on doing one round of where everyone mentions what they've encountered on the way back, the 20 or so day journey from where they're at versus coming back through the Margrave Forest into Zobeck proper. Now, I'm going to forego my contribution. So with the four of you, it really is just whoever, and if you want to do popcorn, you can. If you don't, you can. We can sit while the next person thinks up the next thing that you guys encountered, but you guys can start whenever.
Can Tandy start?
Yeah.
So, and I'm only doing this because I want it to be when we're like still kind of at the temple or leaving the temple. A little bit down the ways from the temple, we have to stop for something. Like maybe that's when Mara leaves. But Tandy kind of goes off away from everybody a little bit, and they find this big stone. It's like an obelisk almost. It's not incredibly tall. It's more like gravestone height of like a very tall gravestone, and it's covered in ivy, and it has this weird writing on it. And so they put some parchment over it and then use a pencil to get an etching of it. And there's also music written on it that it takes a while, but Tendi eventually deciphers it and then plays it for the rest of the party. And it turns out that it is a song about becoming stronger and needing change in your life and being like the stars in the sky, like all of the stars in the sky, and getting your game on and going and playing.
I wanna have like a large bird, drop a rock and have it smash you right in the mouth when you look up. But
what if it smashes the obelisk and then the song is lost to time except for Tendy's little etching? I primarily just want Teddy to bring something back for their dad, and I didn't think to do it until now.
Yeah, from that obelisk. No, we'll say it does obviously get chipped from a bird trying to smash you in the mouth with a rock. And what
because Tendy was singing.
And what chips off of it even though the obelisk wasn't that color, it looks like some sort of glittery gold substance. Just the chunk that you have, all that glitters is gold.
It is true. It's an old saying, and so Tandy pockets it and keeps it safe to remind themselves that all that glitters is gold.
Harlow bundles you up and says, "It's a cool place, but they say it gets colder."
Tandy does not like this.
Anyway, I'll say, if you give a mouse a cookie, I'm gonna quote Smash Mouth lyrics for the rest of the session.
Good.
Fair enough. Who's next?
Ready for some improv, Jordan?
Some improv?
Yeah. You and me, baby.
Which I was born.
As the party passes Bratislav,
Bratislav, yeah.
about 10 minutes pass, and Prudence hears something. She looks over her shoulder. She sees a shadow dart into the forest. She thinks nothing of it, but then it happens again. Poppy, do you see something out there?
See what?
Look, just right there. And she takes her face and she points it, and a shadow again darts. Stop the
Sorry,
clock.
I missed it this time. Again? You wanted
just
improv.
That's fine. For your
Oh man, I
convenience.
stopped that time. Wow. I'll stop the cart. Yeah, that seems important.
The Austin, stop the cart.
The Austin rambles and both characters out.
Prudence hops out. She goes to where the shadow was. And what is it, Jordan? What is there? What's been following us from Bratislav?
Let me roll something real quick.
Oh no.
You only catch a glimpse of this, as not only is it darting and quick and agile, but it is also quite capable on its feet. Maybe it's because it's got more than 2, but less than 6. As you see a 5-footed, shadowy, like amalgam of flesh, discolored and patchy in bits, with not much hair, but what is clear to be either large stitches or staples, piecing their skin together. And after a moment, it is too quick even for the likes of Tendi and or you, as it has noticed that it has been seen. It darts up north into the forest and to the east or west of Bratislav to either continue monitoring you or to find somebody who's not as well perceived. But as it leaves, you look down from the spot that you saw it dart away from, and there is a necklace.
Huh?
Not a great quality necklace.
Prudence will pick it up and examine it.
But be careful.
What's the outside of the, like, if it were like a stopwatch, like it's an enclosed necklace, what does the outside look like?
Oh, is it a locket?
Yeah,
It's a locket. It's engraved in words that Prudence can't understand. It's a language she doesn't know, but it's encircling the circumference of the locket. Maybe
It's a
some
gnomish-
sort of prayer or saying or something like that, she thinks. and there's a little tiny gem embedded in the back of it.
Do you open it?
I open it.
The inside is a very small, obviously, but very detailed artistry of a beautiful woman washing her feet in a busy and frothy river. Where you cannot tell. There's rivers all over the place. Some would say Midgard is lousy with rivers. But
Some.
But
Is
this
it a human woman?
it is a human woman
Is
with
there
very dark brown hair that is about just beyond shoulder length. She wears a long, not very decorative, but a light bluish white nightgown.
Is this like some sort of like you know when you get like a photo frame from Walmart and it's got like the quintessential
stock photo.
stock photo of a family? Is this what is happening? Or is this like an actual person?
You can tell. So first off, those don't currently exist. For if you were to walk into like a ye old CVS, there would be just frames, but not somebody. There's no artist that's going, yeah, you can go ahead and use my stuff for frames just to sell the frames.
I just got a business idea.
You can I would say with your given perception, you can easily tell. I feel like there's too many thumbs in that picture.
There's so many thumbs.
The detail of how minuscule this painting is takes absolute talent. Whoever did this was a remarkable detailed painter.
Does it make me feel any sort of way? Like I think Prudence would appreciate art. Is there like any sort of like sorrowful feelings, or is it whimsical, or is it like, does it make me feel like about like true love?
It makes you feel, granted, while the outside of the locket itself was in a very bad state of disrepair, muck and years of oils and tarnish and dead skin, collected
Yeah.
like on a watch and things like that.
And my gaming mouse got it.
Or your gaming mouse. I mean, I didn't want to call you out, but this is actually not D&D. This is an intervention.
Oh no! I have to go.
You would, you know what? I tell you what. Give me an insight check.
I would love to do that.
I'm sure you would, Weatherman.
I got a 10.
You feel that this particular art would at least bring whoever's it was joy. Now, whether it was whatever it was you saw in the forest, or maybe it took it off of someone's body, if that person or that being were to still be alive, I'm sure that you would feel that they are missing this.
Yeah. Prudence closes the locket and then pockets it and hops back in the cart and regales everyone with what monstrosity she saw. We shall never go to Bratislava.
Okay. Okay, yes, go.
Cleos looks confused, but he
Goes.
He goes. He does go.
I'm glad you goed.
Thank you.
Austin is the goat.
And a lot.
You're the goat.
No, the Wolf King. Yeah.
Just like, just looking down the road, trying not to listen.
All right. We got 3 more.
Oh, I have an idea. So, as we are traveling on the road in the cart, we begin to hear this soft lullaby on the wind. There seems to be no point in which it's coming from, it's just around. And at first we think maybe it's Tindy, but Tindy is not playing any of their instruments.
Disassociating in the corner.
Yeah.
We shake Tindy. But eventually we start to all get very sleepy, very tired. It's hard to keep our eyes open until we all drift off. And our dreams are varied, but they're not bad. They're pretty nice. They're sweet. They're comforting. And when we awaken, we're much more well rested than before. And we're a little further down the road. It's strange, but there seems to be no explanation. Anyway, that's my
I like it.
That's good.
If you, as a precursor, just a forewarning to anyone who drives a vehicle, if you are tired, please pull over.
If you're tired, pull over. If you fall asleep and you've lost time, there are in fact aliens. You should probably go.
Yeah.
Why does my butt hurt?
Because you lost at video games.
Because you have a 15 passive perception.
All right, I can go.
Okay.
Okay. Sin is out in the forest alone, looking for tea or any other interesting plants that might yield interesting teas. And he gets a little bit tired and kind of hungry, so he sits by a tree and he opens his pack and takes out the very last of the sweet rolls from a previous adventure and starts to eat it. And as he's eating it, he notices a commotion in the sky and looks up. He notices that there's a small bird being attacked by 3 crows, as far as he can tell. And he's just sitting there eating and watching this all unfold. The crows are just getting after this bird. And eventually one of them gets it, and the small bird falls to the ground just about 10 feet in front of Sin. And Sin gets up, puts his sweet roll on his backpack, and wanders over to the small bird. The bird is dead. And he looks up and he notices that there are lots of crows. Like at least 10 that he can count in the trees.
Call that a murder.
Indeed.
There's been a murder in Savannah.
And Vincent notices that the bird had something tied to its leg. So he bends down and detaches it from the bird's leg. It's cylindrical, and he tied off. So he opens that up, and inside there's a small letter. And he opens it up to read.
What does it say?
What does it say, Jordan?
Figured you're gonna ask me. I was getting prepared. Dearest Farengar, I believe I have found a special cave, the underlined, most specialists of caves in which to hide our miraculous life's work, stealing from those we have found along the roads and crossways. I would show you, but I feel like you would take my treasure and my share. So you find your own cave. I will store my half in my own cave. P.S. I need my half for my cave. Please return me my half of our ill-gotten treasure. Post haste. Or consequences shall be dire.
It's your own cave.
Then,
Your farts smell.
Hey, Jordan, can this be your DMPC?
Is this Mr. 5x5?
then kind of gives a really confused look as he's reading all of this. And he holds it back up and looks around, sticks it in his pocket, goes back to eating his sweet roll.
He's never gonna get his stuff back.
He's never gonna get his because the guy never got the letter.
Real quick, Sin, you actually feel you don't wear you wear a hood, but you don't have any sort of headgear, right?
Yeah, no headgear.
Okay. You go back down to finishing eating, and you feel the grip of a small pair of talons from a crow land on your head. And then, before you get the chance to look up, a couple of quick bop bops with something hard but not shiny or not sharp against the top part of your head, and on top, falling down in front of you and landing on your sweet roll, the remains of your sweet roll, is a silver piece, and the crow flies away.
Bribery.
You got paid?
Thank you. I guess.
Got bribed to keep quiet.
Don't you dare spread any rumors about this.
So, the crow lands in front of you and goes, "You saw another."
This is like a nobody will believe you sort of scenario here.
And everyone found out that crow's name.
Just hops up a little closer to you, holds out a wing, reveals a match, strikes it, burns the note, flies away. Okay.
I want to be a part of a crow gang now.
Crow gang.
Next campaign.
Big Pinku
Y'all
next
play
campaign.
Eric Cockroach and Kenku and
Yes.
Coral Crows.
Nice, yes. I'm trying to decide if I should. I'm dancing between two options. Should I
Romancing
go?
Prudence and Romancing Prudence.
I mean, if you would like that, but
Apparently there are 3 options now.
I have a really fantastical one, or a kind of regular one, and then I have Romancing Prudence.
Do the fantastical one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Prudence.
Okay, so going through the forest, they're getting pretty close to the end of their Oh, okay. Alright, okay.
Okay.
All right,
So-
Joe Pesci.
Okay.
They're getting pretty close to Zobeck, and they're pretty excited to get home and take a shower and be clean and eat real food. Rations are getting kind of low, but we're still pretty good. As we're traveling, we noticed there was an inn on the side of the road that wasn't there when we were coming up. And after talking about it for a minute, the group kind of figured it would be kind of nice to stop for a night. We were making good time. So making good time, so we decide to stop. And park the we park the carriage outside, and as the group is going in, the innkeeper looks really surprised, like really surprised to see us, to see people on the road, even though they are a pretty good like day away from Zobeck, or more, probably more. So it was kind of weird to see them be so surprised, but they were very hospitable. They brought a bunch of food, they brought a bunch of drink, and a lot of us were celebrating as much as we want. And they seemed hesitant to offer rooms, but after a few kind of questions, they were. But every time they came to visit our table, they kept staring at the door. They kept being very, very anxious about what's coming through the door next. They are, it's a human man and a human woman. The woman is doing the cooking, the man is hosting, and they seem very eager about the front door. And then
Prudence touches the front door.
It's a front door.
No, our worst enemy.
About the time it would have been a good idea to stop drinking and go to bed, the door opens and in walks a nobleman who's traveling. No one that we would recognize, or no one that seemed terribly important, but he was very important to the host because he immediately brought out a crossbow and started trying to rob all of us. Very clearly they were expecting the nobleman to come by with his entourage, and it was a very intricate bandit setup.
Oh my god, like fucking Team Rocket.
Basically, we walked into a Team Rocket trap.
Amazing.
Of course we would.
Well, did they go blasting off again? Did we beat them?
Why are these chairs made out of cardboard?
I'll leave it to the group. I'm assuming we got out alive. I'm not gonna.
We all died.
No, we died. This is the end of Midgard.
I would imagine that the bandits weren't anticipating us to be like, they saw a few of us were armed, but they didn't understand just how armed we were. I would suspect we handily beat the shit out of them.
Oh yeah. We are also demigods now.
Yeah. So it was no trouble, and as soon as we at least beat the man unconscious, the entire inn just vanished. Just clearly a conjured illusion, concentrate. So we all got dumped on our asses in the mud in the middle of the road.
I love this.
You hate to see it.
So the setting and blast off though, the nobleman had his guard hogtie the bandit, and they're like, "Oh, we'll take care of them. Wherever the hell we're going, they will be dealt with accordingly." And am I allowed to give out rewards for this? Like, he could pay us a little bit for making sure we didn't die.
Pay us an exposure.
Sure.
He gets. Go ahead.
The idea of being paid an exposure as an adventurer is horrible, but also Katie the artist kind of loves that for us.
Imagine he gave us a little money as a thank you for being there when I was about to get robbed. So that way I didn't get robbed.
A little
Yeah,
money is true.
you all receive 25 gold apiece in appreciation.
Wow.
Yay!
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Is it real?
We
I
bite
it.
In fact, it's actually a bunch of coin mimics. Let's roll initiative. No, I'm kidding.
I'll just eat it. It's fine.
189 plus 25.
I'm grabbing my calculator that I have right next to my desk for these occasions.
I thought it was gonna be
514.
coins.
Gotta love them coins.
I have so
boys.
much gold, I can go buy another present.
All right, has that I believe that's all.
Everybody.
That's everybody.
We did it, gang.
We did it.
Good job. That's Midgard.
Successful D&D.
Roll credits.
Nice.
Couple things. For those of you who are keeping track via calendar, you are arriving at Zobeck. You are on time, regardless of how many things you happen to find, how many hidden how many experiences you've all come to pass and have. You would arrive on Zobeck on the 14th of Last Leaf. Last Leaf being the last of the autumn months. The solstice, in fact, really just next week. And you can tell. Coming through the forest of Margrave, far less wildlife, as more as the last of like the squirrels and various creatures go to hoard all of their food for the long winter to come. You don't hear anything from any of your godparents on your way back to Zobeck. Not that you expected them to, anyways. You reach a clearing, a familiar clearing, after you've left the, as you went to come back from the Griffin Tower. Prudence, obviously you've made many trips like this in the past. And you always see the same old Zobeck. The River Argent and the smaller River Derry that cuts through it. But the River Argent itself, almost always full and lively with ships going up and down river, stopping by Zobeck's ports and port district to sell goods, export goods, trade. All throughout the summer and the fall months, there have been numerous, much commerce, such wow, going through Zobeck. And it is an odd sight now to really just see not really any ships, maybe one. What you would see would be a steady stream of carts coming in and out of Zobeck. You haven't passed by anybody, at least about 5-6 days time of your journey. Zobeck seems, at least from this distance a few miles out, pretty quiet. Now, that isn't obviously the case when you approach. You can still hear the hustle and bustle of the thriving masses inside of Zobeck, although the few things that are immediately off to you all. Nobody has really left. There's a line, in fact, not a very long one, but there's a line going into Zobeck. No carts seem to be leaving. And the typical iron guards that you would see at the gates of Zobeck, while in trips past have just hand-waved you after a brief once-over of you and your equipment and weaponry and such, they are no longer there. They are replaced. And in their stead are a group of beings you really haven't seen before. Their skin kind of a greenish blue tinge, horns like tieflings, but not the skin and tails of tieflings, but pointed ears of elves.
We've never seen these kinds of things before? They're humanoid, though.
They are humanoid. and you may have seen one of these before. In fact, probably right before you left Zobeck was the first time that you've seen one of them.
Does it look like Phil Mandarin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
For the first time, it's not just the uniqueness of Thelamandrin, Ambassador Thelamandrin.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes. And what am I saying? Ambassador in Extraordinary of the Winter Court, Glennon Thelamandrin.
Yeah, you gotta say the whole thing, or else he'll like trip you with shoelaces.
His
he
Excellency
gets mad.
Glennon Thelamandrin, Hidden Ambassador in Extraordinary of the Winter Court.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Hidden ambassador.
While Thelamandrin, Glenn to his friends.
Are we his friend?
No.
No. While
Can I call you Glenn?
While his horns were very nicely in line with the swept back hairstyle that he ended up wearing, many of these younger, it seems, Shadow Fae, kind of just leaning up against the sides of the portcullis, and you see like them having brief conversations with those that are, a ways ahead of you, and everyone is just getting what used to be just a free like come in. You now.
Free talk?
I swear to God, fucking Discord, get your shit together.
Jordan, why did you say that?
What?
It was gonna be a free dilly bar.
Well,
Candy Love Deli Bar.
We heard that they were leaning against the portcullis. I remember that because I was trying to figure out what the fuck a portcullis was this entire time.
We've talked about them
cutlet.
many
We've had
times.
these
Pork cutlet, remember?
pork cutlets.
Pork cutlets.
we can't take you anywhere. We also can't take Discord anywhere. Apparently, Discord doesn't want me to ever have fun.
Are
Damn
we
it,
still
Tom Howard.
recording or
We are
no?
we are still recording. OBS decided to just like, and we're back.
Okay.
Maybe we could put a star wipe in there of like some sort of convicts. But anyways,
OBS is so professional.
it's a bunch of BS. That's what I'm talking about, right? Anyways, these Shadow Fae are much younger than the ambassador Glennon and Thelamandrin, and they are kind of a punky looking sort. There's about 4 or 5 of them. And they're crowding around the portcullis, having brief exchanges with those that are coming in, and they are trickling them in one by one. But you guys have probably a moment to discuss before you come up to them.
Puppy, it's the guy.
It's the guy? It's not the guy. It's they're a different guy.
What's
Crew,
what
are you
is
face
going on,
blind?
puppy?
Your face.
The racism, though.
Leosin
Why are
saying,
you asking me what's going on? I don't know. I was with you the whole time.
I'm not face blind, it's his Osling, Telemandrin. And Prudence looks over at Leostin and grins.
Leosin kind of smirks back and then like stares at Poppy expectantly.
Why are you all staring at me?
Because
Tendy closes their eyes and does not stare at Poppy so that they don't get confused, right?
Thank you, Tindy.
I mean, it's you're a princess.
Yeah, but I haven't been to the Feywild for like 19 years, so I don't know.
Perhaps we should go up and talk to them.
Oh yeah, well I was gonna talk to them while we they seem to be talking to everybody, so we were gonna talk to them anyway. But like, I don't know, you all looked at me like I did something.
Well, we're looking at you, so you can lead the charge, Poppy.
Okay.
Poppy is
Well, I
fake.
can't move until the line moves. That's
Oi!
why I'm not leading the charge.
Hey, all of you, come on up here.
Okay, see, the line's moving now.
Leofson urges the horses forward.
Hello!
What business have you in Zobeck?
We live
We
here.
live here.
Is that so?
Yeah. Do you live here? You're new.
Go ahead. And the 4 other Shadow Fae kind of walk around the cart itself.
So what's your name?
We're from the guild.
Oh yeah, which one?
The only
Adventure
one
Guild.
here.
I'm sorry. Most of you are talking at the same time. It's one of you is good to hear from.
Sorry, it's hard to do that when we're over online. Anyway, Cindy, you can talk.
Oh, Adventures Guild.
Mm.
Can we speak to Beckett?
Hold up. What are your names?
For what reason are we being detained? Do you have a permit?
You're not being detained, but if you want to get in, then you will have to at least allow us to inspect the cart that you're bringing in, as long as also ensuring that you are, in fact, who you say you are.
Prudence leans forward on her elbows and she tucks her chin on top of her interlaced fingers. I'm sorry, but you don't look like the gods of Zobeck. What authority do you have to stop us?
Let's see. Maybe it's because it's our city.
Excuse me? I have never seen you in my life.
Oh, hey, but you might want to brush back your hair over your ear. I said Zobeck is our city.
And
It's
what
our city, too.
grounds?
Again, I won't ask you but one more time. Your names, please. If you say you are with this guild, surely we will be able to know and will let you right in. But until then, you could be lying to our very faces, and we don't want liars in our city.
Leofson reaches out and puts a hand on Prudence's shoulder to try to stop her. I am Leofson of Yomsborg.
I'm Sin.
Just one moment. Before Leofston like finishes speaking, she puts her hand over his mouth.
And then Leofson.
One moment, if you would please, gentlemen. And she kind of turns to them all. Do not give your full names. Poppy, you should be warning them, like you warned me.
What warning?
This is fey magic, fey tricks. Do not give your full names.
I only have just the one.
I think you're safe, Sin. You don't know your real name.
Yeah. Okay.
God, Prudence,
Okay.
kick a man while he's down.
It's okay, buddy. You don't have a name.
Oh, sucks to suck.
That's giving big. You should ask your parents if you can come over to my house after school. Oh wait, you don't have parents.
Oh my god.
Prudence still has her hand on Leoston's mouth.
He's just letting it happen. They have Leofson. That's enough, I guess.
Poppy.
Yes. Prudence.
Chicken.
One of them goes inside the area between the outside wall, the inside wall. There's like a little area.
I forgot that Tendy's first name is Chicken.
I was gonna say Tendy heard the giggles, and y'all, Tendy actually kind of is embarrassed that you laughed at their first name.
No, we're not
No.
laughing in real life.
It's real life.
All right. Well, it says here we do have a Leofstan, a Sin, a Puppy, a Mara. I'm afraid that there is no chicken, but and Patches and Prudence.
Yep, that's me. So that's a sin, please.
I'm afraid you're smuggling in somebody that's not on the list.
Chicken is on the list. Look at the full name.
Tandy doesn't understand
you'll
this,
you'll
but
have to-
Katie does.
You'll have
I
to
didn't
wait.
talk to what's his name.
You'll have to wait here. The rest of you can go. Either you can leave this baxi with the cart outside, but I'm sure you probably would rather bring it in.
We'll be waiting.
Chicken has lived here her whole life.
And
You will
he
let
here.
them in.
I'm sorry.
Can I roll for intimidation?
Sure, but with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Or hold on, honey, hold on. Let me look at my skills. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Can Lee Austin roll for intimidation?
I would say I have proficiency in intimidation, and I think one
Yeah,
of my runes-
but
Uh-huh.
Prudence was the one that wants to intimidate, so
I also want to intimidate.
then Prudence, you can roll a flat intimidation roll. Not with advantage, since it cancels out the disadvantage.
As I'm intimidating. Lee
Mm.
Austin comes up behind me.
The Shadow Fae in particular go, see, not your city, I'm afraid. So, as a resident of Zobeck, we shall allow you to, of course, enter and partake in the city. However, this chicken is not on the list. We will need
What
to...
names are on the list?
I read them out loud, perhaps if
You didn't say one name on the list. Read it over again.
There is a... Oh, God. Prudence, Patches, Mara, Sin, Leof Stan, Tendi, and a Poppy.
Bring Beckett here.
If you won't mind waiting off to the side, other people who probably are also wanting to get into Zobeck are behind you.
Of course, sir. Maybe be nicer to the rest of them, though.
Poppy makes them all move.
What?
Second time guard did say Tandy.
We know.
So,
But you said chicken. And if we say that you're Tindy now, then they're going to be like, yeah, sure, whatever. You're Tindy. Like a big old meanie heads. We move the cart out of the way.
Okay.
No, I don't. Prudence sits in it like an angry fucking Karen. I'm not leaving until I get my order.
Hey, we
Leofston picks up Prudence.
okay, and then Poppy drives.
Yeah! Well, you are off to the side.
I wonder if they need the names of our horses, too.
Leofston just standing with Prudence over his shoulder, not letting her down.
She's tail is flicking and like hitting him in the back. Eventually, she calms down, but she doesn't ask to be put down.
I wonder why
Poppy,
this
what?
happened.
Yes, I was about to say, why?
Why are you asking me? I don't know. I was with you the whole time.
Because this is, you
I don't know every Fae thing happening. I haven't been in the Feywild for 19 years, like I said.
don't you
Sure.
have some sort of authority over them?
No?
Did your parents
Not a
say anything
guard.
But you are royalty, aren't you?
Yeah, and I didn't know that until like a few weeks ago.
Perhaps you could talk to Thilamandrin.
Salamandrin, His Excellency, he, I don't think I have anything over him at all, and it's certainly difficult to get any information to him. I had to get Wicket last time, and I doubt that they would allow me to send Wicket through.
Wicket's so small, I highly doubt they'd notice him, and he's just over there. She points to where Thilamandrin is.
He was over here. That's not. Wait, Prue, that's not him. You are face blind.
No, Thilamandrin's been there, hasn't he, Jordan?
Yes.
No.
No.
Canon.
I thought he was there.
That boy has.
No.
That man has much farther better things to do than stand out and let people go one at a time into Zobeck.
Yeah, then Prudence
I will-
is just stay blind.
Yeah, I will say quicker than usual because it takes you guys a while to get from this side of Zobeck all the way north to the north end where the pastures are, and so I mean like pretty quickly. You actually hear a voice kind of come through the other side. Going, no, it's fine. No, look, they were gone and they are supposed to be on their way, but and you see Beckett's head pop around the corner, and he's alive. You could tell that it seems like he may have either partied a little bit too hard last night. But there are some bags under his eyes, and his hair is kind of a mess, and he kind of. Oh, good to see you. You came back from your trip already.
Beckett, they won't let chicken in.
Listen, boys. Elizabeth uncooked chicken tender is actually one of is a fantastic human being. You need to be able to let them through. They are with the guild, I can assure you. I can vouch. Her name is Tendi. Their name is Tendi.
Well, there goes that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's Beckett.
The elves kind of
What
go.
did we expect?
Apologies. Enjoy your stay in our fair city of Zobeck.
You mean the one that you just got in? Okay, bye.
Leofson puts Prudence in the back of the car and climbs up to the driver's side, looks at Beckett and like pats the driver's side next to him. We're gonna have a chat. We're gonna talk about what the fuck happened.
Hey, it'd be much rather I'd like to sit for a little bit and not actually have to worry about saying anything. Whew. But he climbs up and he kind of just slumps in the chair and kind of leans back and goes, all right, let's go back. Oh.
Is
Okay,
it is that
really-
first of all,
Okay.
what happened to you?
Me?
Yeah, you look terrible.
Oh, thanks. I've never felt younger. I'm just a bit tired, it's all.
Why?
You look like you've been partying.
Why have you
Hey.
been partying?
Oh,
Did you guys have a party without us?
You think I'd be a bit more happy if I were partying all the time? I'm just tired, it's all.
What happened to the city?
Oh, I don't know. Not much. I haven't really spent much time outside the Citadel. Someone came by, a representative for the Shadow Fae, and handed over some papers, and I haven't really questioned it. I don't think anybody else has. I do know, however. Well, let's drive a little bit first, shall we?
Oh,
Okay.
it's Leofson driving. Or let's pop
Are we
drive.
going into the city?
Yeah.
It's weird that he's like, hang on, let's talk about that in a couple minutes.
You get out of you gotta travel a little bit and get out of earshot of
Mm.
the front. On a quieter road. He goes, all right. Now, granted, there's probably a lot more going on than I possibly know, but well, a couple of things been happening the past week or two, I believe, since I started handing out these this decree and whatnot. They claim that they own the city, or they're preparing it for something. But oh God, forgive me.
Preparing it.
Forgive me. Again, longer. I'm tired as hell. Well, first of all, you know, the brewery over at White Rose.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very important brewery. In fact, normally supplies Zobeck pretty well.
What happened to the brewery?
Wow, you
I'm-
timing at that part. Huh?
I'm
Also,
get-
late reaction.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. All right.
What are you drinking? Where did you get that?
It's just ice. I develop a nasty habit of being able to chew iced water. It helps with my anxiety.
Okay, but did you get it from home, or did someone give it to you?
Someone named Slim Chicken.
Chicken? It's fine.
Tendi looks down at themselves and pats their little belly.
Anyways,
Did not give Beckett water.
anyways, the River Argent has been freezing quite early. For freezing solid for about half an entire day.
Weird.
But besides that, the White Rose Brewery, they had an entire batch go bad. Of course, that right pissed off the dwarves.
Mm.
They're quite incensed, and apparently there was a notice left on the door to the brewery saying that the soured beer was a penalty for words meant to insult and injure the city's right and proper rulers, and that all brewings will suffer likewise until a sufficient apology is offered. And let me just tell you, I haven't ordered any mead or beer from the White Rose in a while.
So they just came in. They handed over papers, and the leadership stepped down. Where are the leaders? Where is Lady Marak?
I mean, they're still here. It's
What about the city guards?
no, the Iron Guard has been properly put on an extended leave, I believe, until things can get sorted out. Perhaps they can. Again, you're talking to a man who's been staying up far too late, not partying, by the way, and not really getting a good night's sleep. So I can't tell you much other than.
Dendi has questions. Why Beckett is not sleeping? Are you tired because of fatherhood?
Heather's doing quite well, thank you for asking. And it's not her that's causing me to not have a bit of sleep. It's just, it's not a really big deal. It's, but look, before you left, some of y'all making a ruckus during the wee hours of the morning. And
Tendi stares at Prudence and Leofston.
Leofston does not look at her. Look at them.
It's, I thought there'd be some peace and quiet, but I just haven't really had good sleeps. So.
Have others been making a ruckus in the morning?
Not that I know of, no.
And you don't think that perhaps your inability to sleep has anything to do with the Fae taking over the city?
Seems like a pretty big stretch to make that sort of connection. Don't
You
you think?
haven't given me an concrete evidence of why you haven't been sleeping.
I have said that I have not been able to get a full night's rest.
Tendi,
Yes,
what
but
more-
why?
can you play him a song tonight so that he can sleep good?
Yeah, that
Yes.
would be great. I'd like that.
Yes.
Would Tendi? I don't think Tendi knows very much about the Fae, but is there anything that Tendi would maybe remember based on just the sleep thing? Like, are there any stories or any history of Fae being related to a lack of sleep?
Not really. However, I will let you take this time to kind of think on Shadow Fae in general. from what you might be able to recall.
Okay.
For those who are, because I don't want you let me know if it's more than one. But if you feel like you have had some sort of connection, whether it be personally, historically, or intellectually, you can either roll an Arcana or a Nature check to be able to see what you know, particularly about the
history, you
Shadow
said.
Fame. Yeah, and either Arcana or Nature. I'm talking about this allows anybody to be able to roll, not just Tendy.
I don't know shit.
No shit.
You
16.
said Arcana or what?
Nature.
Tendy.
Tindy.
Tendy.
Oh, Cindy. Whoa.
Tendy gets to re-roll, right?
I don't know. Does Tendy get to re-roll?
Don't I have the demigod
have-
thing where ones get re-rolled?
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look, because that's pretty new.
I couldn't recall if that was a thing that all of us got, or just a thing that, if that was like one of the things that we could have picked.
Fated. The threads of fates unravel and tie themselves anew for a demigod. When you roll a 1 on an attack, roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can re-roll the die and must use the new roll.
Thank you,
What if
Poppy.
it's a? Is it a? Oh, what's the frequency? Okay,
As many times, whenever you roll a nat 1
Anytime.
on any of those things, you can then re-roll. If you roll a second 1, you're kind of stuck with that second 1. But
okay.
Okay. So let me make sure I got this right. Your Arcana was a 18. Sin, you had a nature of 20, and Poppy had a nature of 16.
Sin had a nature 23.
Damn, Sin.
That's what I meant to say. Sorry, 23. Okay. Poppy, Tendy, and Sin. You all can recall through however you have learned about Shadow Fae. But the hierarchy of Shadow Fae is ever changing. Young Shadow Fae especially seem to rise and fall quickly. They are ruthless and determined and rely on dueling and backstabbing to curry favor with nobles in the courts. Sin and Tendy, you would additionally know that not all Shadow Fae play along with the duels and court politics, and many instead seem to hone their talents toward more murderous ends, like assassins, making them rather indispensable to the court while not always subject to its whims. And Sin, you above and beyond can recall for some reason that Shadow Fae dislike either sunlight or complete darkness. They prefer twilight whenever possible. But in terms of sleep, you're not exactly sure. You can't think of anything that would kind of mesh the two together.
Tendy thinks maybe Tendy should go home and check on Dad.
I think that's a wonderful idea. We should probably check on all of the
Yes,
loved ones.
yeah. I'd like
Dad-
to check on my family.
Dad teaches classes, so Dad might know much more than Beckett. No offense, Beckett.
No,
Could take it as offensive. That's fine too.
No, I'm not a studious sort. I am charming, good-looking when I'm not, when I've had a fitful or a good fitting night of rest for sure. So no,
Just like a 7.
Besides your rest, has everything been alright?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I think most of the other parties are still out and about. They have came and since left. I think they left right as and it starts. All right, no, there is one thing I do recall that's been at least relatively recent and affecting us. Not though it's not a big deal. Since this whole thing with the Shadow Fae and claiming that Zobeck is their actual city, it wasn't like, like you would imagine if they say, "Oh, this is our city," then they have evidence to back it up. There wasn't any sort of fighting going on or anything like that. It was more they had proof of some sort, and people have gone on with it. But when you want to leave the city, they're only letting people leave one at a time.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't. Do I look like the guild leader with all the answers? I have no idea. All I
You
know
look like
is
a guild leader.
oh, thank you. I try real hard.
Good.
No,
You're not allowed to use the portals.
I haven't even had much time to really worry about that. We're trying to teach Heather how to be able to fly, but not fly off, and so my days have been. I had my hands full.
Beck, excuse me if I'm being a little forward, but you seem very okay with this situation. Are you just not, is this like a political thing? You're just not getting yourself mixed up in it? I'm not saying that you should storm the castle gates and do it yourself, but you don't seem very perturbed.
Well, I mean, they haven't quite made any sort of crazy effect to the status quo. Everything seems like it's been relatively normal. And I imagine that, again, you're all right. I'm not one to get into politics. It's not my thing. That's why I kind of stayed out of most of it. Or prefer to buy my way in. But, no, in this sense, it's too much trouble. Again, if you want to be honest opinion, it's more that they probably have some sort of thing that allows them to something that lets them be able to be the owners of the city or whatnot. But the council, obviously, they spoke to the council, is my understanding. And
She sort of leans in and puts her hand on his knee. Beckett, I know that money speaks to you mostly. How do you think that you're going to keep the guild afloat if only one person can leave at a time?
Believe me, it's probably one of the things that's keeping me up at night, trying to figure out exactly how, because one of the groups tried leaving about 5 days ago, and the last one was finally allowed to be able to leave 2 days ago. So yeah, no, I'm trying to think of that.
Wait, once per day a person can leave, or that you just have to wait a few minutes before the next person can go out?
Honestly, I'd love to be able to tell you, but unfortunately, I'm not the one that's working the gates under whatever rules that they have. I've been trying to train a griffin to be able to fly, and it's, again, I've had my hands full. Hey, how was your trip? You have a lot of questions for here, and not really telling me about what you've seen, what you've done.
Well, it seems a little more imperative we figure out the whole, the city being besieged by Fae. But it was nice. We got attacked by a giant stone thing. We brought some of it back, although it's just rocks. We met an old man and he was very rude. We left him with a concussion. I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure.
He made a delicious soup.
I don't believe you all would leave somebody, especially an old man with a concussion.
He told us to. Mm.
Because people with concussions have wonderful sensibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the times that you've been hard-headed in the past, that's when you decided not to stand your ground and be stubborn?
We're going to send a message to his partner.
Oh yeah, we're going to send a pigeon. Everything's going to be fine. You can tell that the Prudence was upset that she had to leave them behind.
This has been.
And thanks about the crows.
Beckett kind of looks a little bit longer on Prudence with kind of a. But he goes, All right. Well, I mean, at least you're all back in one piece and back inside Zobeck. So,
Hey,
It-
Beckett,
yes,
How-
Poppy.
how'd you get over to the gate so quickly?
Oh, I happened to be at one of the houses nearby.
What are you doing?
I don't think that's right. I mean, what?
How did
I-
they find you at this house?
I mean, you asked
I
us about
saw-
the adventure.
I
What were you
saw
doing?
I saw one of them walking by, muttering somebody about someone being a pain in the arse. I figured maybe you guys have returned back from your trip.
You heard about one person being a pain in the ass, and you were like, "Ooh, it's them, my children."
Beckett is right.
Well, I mean,
Beckett is not wrong.
thank you, Tendy. I appreciate it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but let's be honest. If we're thinking of anybody who's kind of out of the ordinary, it's your folk.
I don't know. There's that other group with us.
No, I don't know. Are
No.
you saying that because, we're half human?
No,
Well,
it's not a racist thing.
Not me.
It's a behavioral thing. It's a weird, you'll get it eventually. It's fine.
Is
I don't
everything
get it.
else intact? As far as you know, there's all the other guilds and all the shops and
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. The whole, leaving the city one at a time's got a bunch of larger, groups like the dwarves when they're trying to go back up to the mountains and such. Kind of pissed off because obviously, you have to imagine families can't really leave Zobeck quite easily
Hmm.
because you're not gonna send out your firstborn without you going out there yourself. But I believe, from what I remember, I went out drinking one night, and there's some sort of... Oh! Mother. There is also some sort of bard who is performing in the Docks District. Pretty good performance, I'd say, but more or less that everywhere that he sings, it always ends up being a terrible brawl. Some of the people that have been injured have been some of the previous City Watch. So, in fact, even I think one of the first people to get a shiner was Sergeant, but he's
Is he okay? Did he get patched up by Ileana?
he's fine. I don't know why specifically Ileana. It's we have in either case. He's fine. It's just a bruise, a blackened eye. It's well now on its way to already being a thing of the past.
Is anyone other than the leaving Zobeck, has anyone been concerned about this change?
I haven't met anybody who's not concerned with the change, but what can you do? You know, if
What is the name of
if the regular
bard?
I have no bloody right idea, but I didn't think twice to ask. But let me ask you this, Leofston. If the guards that were here previously were to have said that you must be able to do something in order to do that, would you probably have questioned it as much as you're questioning what's going on now? I mean, yes, there are some weird things, but you can't... nowadays you have to be quite careful. Maybe that's their customs, and you're being awfully racist.
Leofston stares at him. This was our home first.
Zobeck's a home to everyone, but,
Speak English or get the fuck out.
I love how, for being so awfully tired, Beckett is so very woke.
There's a difference. Leofston's just like getting tired just talking to Beckett himself. The entire government, the entire authority has changed. That's concerning.
I don't think that's a pretty big leap, but still, I believe this council is still there. You guys leave for 40 days and 39 nights, might I add, and you come back and you think that everything is just... Yes, there are some things that are weird and things that are bad, but again, I don't know everything that's going on, but I would assure you that we would probably see a lot of the council members on their horses in the middle of the street if they were kicked out of their duties of being able to run the city. I'm pretty sure they're still doing that.
Hey,
Can I,
Beckett.
can I ask an out of character question after Skyway?
Fuck no. Yes, you can.
We're less concerned about who, and we're more concerned about why it's happening. Because why would they be doing this? Why would they be wanting people to go out one at a time? Why that? We're not worried as much because of who it is, I don't think.
And I wish I
don't
could
think
give
that-
you the answers.
I don't think that he knows anything. We should probably ask
Yeah,
somebody
I know.
else.
I was just clarifying that whole thing because he just called Leofston racist, so I just wanted to.
I didn't call any. No, you guys wonder why I say that, when someone's being a particular pain in the arse outside of the city gates, my first thought is not the
No,
convicts.
Beckett is right. Beckett is right.
Hey, Prue, you had that out of character question you can
Oh,
ask?
I sure did. When it comes to politics in Zobeck, is it like a democracy? Are people voted in? Is it like what's the word for when there's kings and queens? Theocracy? Is that the word?
Monarchy.
Monarchy? Like what are the people gonna get upset that basically like they stormed the Capitol? Took over?
Let me answer that question with a question. Has Prudence ever cared about politics in Zobeck? Ever.
I think that Prudence would vote if there was voting.
But would you really research the topics and go attend city hall council meetings for
No, you have.
for
Okay.
things that going on in the city?
They
Yes,
often would.
Prudence is she's not as studious as Tendy, but she's been spending her whole life reading and writing and studying. And she cares about what's the word for when you do things good for other people?
Philanthropy.
Philanthropy. She cares about those kinds of stuff. She was upset about Beckett getting a griffin through a whole bunch of money before. So I would say yes, that she does care about those kinds of things. Not to the point of wanting to become a politician, but
Okay.
I mean, yes, is my short answer.
Roll me a general intelligence check.
Okay, where's my...
And then of course repeat your question.
Does Zobeck run through a democracy, a monarchy? And depending on those things, would I think that the general public would be in much more of an uproar than they currently are?
For the second question, no. There is a council that kind of looks over the city itself, and kind of runs it on the day to day. Let me see if I can find something here. Council. I didn't think that was going to be the case. Let's try.
Like, are these people voted in? Like, I feel like people, just in my own personal life, people get pretty upset even if things get voted for and they don't go the way that they want them to go. So, the fact that everybody's pretty chill about this just, strikes me so weird. And maybe they've just gotten used to it because it's been 30 days since it's happened, but, I don't know. You guys feel me?
So, the government, in terms of Zobeck, I'll give you this with the roll that you got, which was just for those who are not able to see Fantasy Grounds, was a 22. The Free City Council consists of the Free Mayor Constantia Olek. I will copy and paste that name in the chat.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And 11 other consuls usually rules Zobeck. The sitting consuls choose the mayor from among their peers and serves a 10-year term. although some have held the position for life, either dying in the office or refusing to yield. But consuls serve 5-year terms. The free mayor oversees the administration of justice and appoints Zobeck's judges, establishes and provisions the army, appoints all knight commanders of the citadel, and commands the free city's militant orders, except for the paladins of the Order of the Dying Sun. That order predates the city's independence, and this chapter of the organization only serves on the condition that their commander answers to no one not of noble blood, and they are an independent military force. Mayor Constantia Olek is a dwarf. She has sworn to serve a single 10-year term, and she took over after the old mayor Carillion Gluck was asked to step aside by the Shadow Fae. And Constantia showed great courage in commissioning several efforts to drive the Fae out, or at least limit their influence to the Undercity. She is cheerful.
Okay, sorry, so the Fae have been like kind of involved in politics before with Zobeck.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a new thing. I wonder if the Dwarven mayor would be upset about the Dwarven brewery getting attacked, basically. Sorry, continue. Just thinking out loud.
You've, at least your limited time here, whenever you've probably potentially asked people, what are your thoughts on the mayor? The mayor is very cheerful, smiling, hardworking, and knows almost every alley and tavern and honest and less honest person of influence in Zobeck. And she used to be a mule driver in a prior mercantile life.
Okay. Did you say that the Shadow Fae put her in charge?
No, the council, Free City Council.
Okay, what was the part about the Fae? Sorry. You said that they drove somebody out?
The previous old mayor.
And who was the old mayor?
She took over for the old mayor, who was asked to step aside by Shadow Fae. That's the
By
rumor
the
anyway.
Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Prudence tells everybody all this stuff, and you wonder why she's so politically minded.
You catch Beckett kind of falling asleep as you guys get closer to the.
Yeah, I already knew that. I've lived here for 19 years. You could have asked me.
Well, then you see why it's so. I mean, these people are voted in. I mean, yes, they're long terms, but for them just to be asked to step aside or
Yes, but
completely taken over.
I don't really think they've stepped aside. That's the thing. They're still the council.
So the council is still in charge.
yeah, it's just it seems like the guards are the ones that are really. It's like they just changed the guards.
Again, there are probably other things too. I've been staying mostly. I haven't really gone into the city all that much. The past couple weeks that they've been here. Perhaps, one of the best things I used to do back when I was looking for information and I was a hungry, yearning youth like yourselves. Nothing says information like overhearing a bunch of drunken fools speaking in a pub.
You don't have to ask me to go to a pub twice.
You
Well,
do
yeah.
have to ask me twice, mostly because I'll forget after the first one.
Tendy is not supposed to go back to pubs anymore after Tendy got in trouble last time. Dad says so.
You
It's okay. You would like to hang out.
Perhaps I could give your father my words that I would keep you out of trouble.
so
then you can
are the
come.
trouble.
I'm sorry, do you think that I cause trouble, Leofston?
He nods.
You've fought with Leofston like twice now, at least.
I think he was a very willing participant.
Yeah, but that's still considered trouble sometimes. Anyway, we can send Beckett back home. We can drive by and
We'll need to leave the cart anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, I
and
need to give Victor
need-
these rocks.
I need
What?
to go home.
Why do you
Where
want to
she
give
gets
him
settled
rocks?
in.
Because they were part of a living being. and we were attacked by them, and hopefully he could find some sort of information through the rocks. I don't know. He's a researcher. He's much smarter than I am.
I
Maybe he
have
could
the
prop his
sketch.
door open.
I have the sketch. You can hand it to him.
All right, I will give him your sketch. He loved your last one.
Yeah, I know. It made me want to do it again.
Sin said he could prop his door open.
Get a bit drowsy in here, don't you think? All right, look, I'm glad you made it back safe. You didn't bring anything with you, did you?
Like what?
No, we didn't have any loot.
I wouldn't.
mean,
I'm
I
afraid
have
I
these-
don't.
Uh,
Yeah.
I have these thick-ass gloves, but
I'm,
these
I'm,
are for my mom, and I don't think she'd be very happy if you took them from me.
I figured it would just be better. I don't know what to expect when I ask you a question, what the answer might be. So it sounds like you're not obviously bringing back something alive and clearly, wanted in about 14 countries. So that's good at least.
Just 13.
Sin, are you? I was gonna make the same joke, but you got there first.
Oh,
Tendy
So-
has cool lantern.
great.
We pull up to our home.
All right, I'm gonna go fill out a bit more paperwork, and then I'm gonna have to take a brief nap before I try to go back and finish feeding Heather for the evening and getting her adjusted to. She's growing quite a bit, even in the last like month and a half.
And would you like Tendy to come by to sing you a bedtime song?
I can send her with some peppermint tea.
Yes, yes.
I you know what? That sounds like a good right idea.
I'll tuck you in, Beckett, and give you a little kiss on the forehead.
That seems like sarcasm, and I'm not gonna accept that. I'll take the tea though and the song.
Prudence
Okay.
grins.
Okay, for those that aren't going to my house, get out of the cart.
Okay, bye.
Sandy just pops out of the moving cart.
Well, hold on. I figured we could all go together, but perhaps we should drop off our
I
things.
just figured that some people might not, and I have to bring the horses back to Honey Blossom Farms anyway. So
I'll be staying at the keep. I need to go check on things.
okay.
Prudence takes the cart to Victor to get the rocks. And
The whole cart. We have to bring the whole cart to Victor for the rocks.
yeah, there's a bunch of
We
rocks.
ride it
Bigger the
inside-
rocks.
How big are the rocks?
Prudence took an armful, and so did you. That's two
Okay.
whole
Not a whole
armfuls.
cart.
Oh
Like
my
one and a
God.
half armful.
Fine, I take all the rocks in my arms,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put them
And
in the bag earlier. Why'd you take them out of the
and I
bag?
hold the paper in my mouth.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand. I don't understand why she took them out of the bag. That was unnecessary, but okay.
Prudence kicks Victor's door with their foot.
She reminds me of an anime girl with a piece of bread in her mouth.
Oh, oh, hello. Is it evening yet? Good evening, Prudence. Early evening. Like, let me. He's like, he begins to reach for the mouth, but then realizes no, and he'll just like grab a couple of the rocks and bring them in and free up your hands so you can be able to at least get the paper out of your mouth.
Hope you drew this for you.
Oh,
She hands the paper.
oh, this is a pretty good drawing. What it is a statue?
It is a golem, a stone golem. Some of those rocks may or may not have come from the golem. It's hard to tell. They may just be rocks, or they may be stone golem rocks. How exciting! It's like a little treasure hunt.
Yes, very exciting. What other rocks could be intermixed with the stone golem rocks?
Probably the rocks from the balustrade that got destroyed by the stone golem.
Is everybody okay?
Yes, of course. We're the convicts. Of course we're okay.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for the rocks and the drawing. Tell Poppy I am appreciative. If I find out anything, I'll let you know.
Yes, of course. Sin said that she could maybe prop your door open with one of the rocks. If it turns out just to be a rock.
It's been getting rather drafty in here and steamy. I figured, yeah, that's a great idea. Tell Sin thank you.
Why is it so steamy? She starts looking around.
I've been making tea nonstop. I have a
It's so
big giant
steamy.
metal steamer in the back that compresses the. You've been in here before.
I mean, to steam up the whole room, though, seems kind of odd. She looks behind him. How big is it?
It is like 12 feet tall and 8 feet wide. And it's like just this big, like, I don't know if you've seen like this Chicken Run or the Wallace and Gromit, like some sort of, it's a pressure cooker just the size of a freaking, like, Minotaur, with like gauges and pipes and all and stuff through it, that he uses to basically mass brew a bunch of tea.
Victor, have you perhaps heard of a kettle? Why do you need so much tea?
It's fine. I found that I've been to help Beckett with the profit hearing of the guild. A lot of people are saying that they are tired, so tea helps them with kind of keeping up with their day to day.
Oh, it's not just for you. I thought you were a thirsty boy.
I could never drink that much tea. Are you
Excuse
okay?
my confusion. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. That's very sweet that you make tea for the whole guild.
Do I make tea for a lot more than just guild?
You do? Who
Well,
else?
a lot of other guilds and people of Zobeck, they come by and they try Victor's tea. I haven't come up with a good name for it yet.
I did not. Can I perhaps try it? She starts like going through her bag for like some money. How much does it cost generally?
It's not going to be done until about 5 more hours for the day. But it's fine. I could, if you all are back in Zobeck, so I will I'll give you guys a cup, I suppose. Tell it Sin no. Sin's had tea here before.
He has. He
Yes.
didn't tell me. She looks a little jealous. Um, Speaking of Zobeck, she lays like a gold piece on the table. It's a little weird, everything that's going on, don't you think?
He picks up the gold piece and hands it back to you. Don't. What are you talking about exactly?
You know, the whole Faye thing, not being able to leave except for one at a time, you know, the government being dismantled, and
The Shadow Fae.
yes. She slides the gold back. This is for the tea later, for everyone. It's not just for me, for everyone.
He slides it back. There are before Zobeck existed. There were much more Shadow Fae around with the Stross family. So it is not out of the ordinary. There is obviously a big difference between Shadow Fae and maybe perhaps whatever comes from the Feywild.
Could you enlighten me? I'm not very... don't know a lot about the Fae.
I mean, I don't myself. I came from Krakova, but I know very little about the Stross family. There's the clock tower. They are the ones that made the Griffin towers. Let's see. There was how Strauss used to be able. They kept kobolds as slaves. Then the city got liberated, and all of the Strauss family was hung. And Zobeck then became Free City. Not exactly. I mean, very little. There's of course the old Strauss public bathhouse. That was a large meeting place, social space, but I don't. I believe I heard that there may have been some sort of estate or mansion in the Margrave Forest at some point that was uh, part of the Strauss family, property, but it has been like 90-ish years since then.
So do you feel like Zobeck is owed to the Fae?
I'm not exactly sure. All I know is I'm selling a lot of tea and has not let me have much time for studies. So, but we're making money, which is good.
Have you gone to Margrave Forest at all since I've been gone?
Perhaps maybe a couple of weeks ago was the last time that I returned.
Were you safe?
Yes.
Good. Can I do like a sleight of hand for her to like slip the coin into like his pocket or something?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I got a 17.
As you believe that you're getting it in his pocket, his hand just kind of blocks the pocket and puts it, like, as encloses your hand around the coin and hands you back your hand with the coin inside of it and goes, I do not need a coin. I will give you a tea, and I don't feel like I must be given a coin for information or whatnot. Is this, where have you gone where you've learned all of this sort of thing?
Prudence blushes that she's been caught. I wanted to pay you for your hard work. What do you mean? Where have I?
Beckett does that for me. He pays me for my hard work in selling and making tea, figuring out
Perhaps
things.
I want to pay you for your hard work. Maybe I think you deserve some money for it.
I don't think
you
that's
obviously work
necessary.
hard.
No, I work enough.
All right, fine. She puts it back in her pocket. What was your other question?
I don't know. Did I
She
say
crosses her.
Did I say I have other questions?
He did. She crosses her arms. Well, all right. I'm just enjoy your rocks. And she turns around and leaves.
All right. So you guys are back home in Zobeck. There is clearly some changes, but first and foremost, you are home. So you guys will have some time to possibly, roleplay, kind of get back into the swing of things for being back in Zobeck proper. Just a reminder, you do not have cost of living expenses while in Zobeck because the guild provides. So, much to do in Zobeck. I'm sure there will be some opportunities for role playing, and maybe by the time we get back next week, there may be even more. I am interested to know each character as far as what they are interested in trying to learn over the course of a week's time. Not necessarily downtime wise, but yeah, there is definitely some strange happenings going on, although perhaps maybe not going about the best.
Welcome back. Although.
I know. Although perhaps maybe not going about the best way or people of asking upon immediate entry into Zobeck. And can you blame Beckett? The boy is tired.
Did you want to know our answers right now?
We'll do that off camera, but for now we will stop and come back in a week.